They should start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares are the best part of my day.
The goods from the wood.
Hot damn.
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
Way too overdressed for podcasting. It's Pat Riley.
Mr. Goodnight, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour.
And today we are joined by our friend.
Megan Simon.
That's right. And Megan is an amazing comedian and musician. And she's going to start off today's show with a song.
Every little girl dreams of her future man, but I never imagined he would drive a pedicab. I know you're really going places in life. You're gonna get there on a cart attached to a bike. Pedicab boyfriend. Pedicab boyfriend, take me away to your sublet where you got 6 weeks left to stay. I know you're doing the very best you can, going up that hill called life in your cab. Pedicab boyfriend, your thighs are so toned. Pedicab boyfriend, you'll never ride alone. We'll talk about things like your psychology degree and how on the side you've been selling weed. And then you'll tell me about all your exes and that women are crazy. If it's true, then it's not sexist. Pedicab boyfriend. Oh, pedicab boyfriend. Okay. Out at dinner, you will make me pay. 'Cause as you always say, chivalry goes both ways. You'll laugh the hardest at all your own jokes, but refuse to come to my improv shows. Pedicab boyfriend, you can just pull over here. Pedicab boyfriend, no, you're not getting a tip. Pedicab boyfriend, next time I'll just walk. Pedicab boyfriend, you're probably gonna tell all your friends I'm a bitch.
Oh, man.
Hey, thanks.
God damn, that was outstanding. I was trying not to laugh and fuck up the take.
That's a nice little setup you just done, though, Rivers.
Yeah. Well, now that I have a bunch of damn mics, it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I for some reason, I just have like 3 mic stands in my closet now. I used to have one, and then I actually went home, got a new car, loaded it up with all those records and all the shit that I couldn't fit out here, in my car the first time I moved out to California, and then drove across the country, and on the way, I actually stopped in Megan's hometown of Austin, Texas.
Hey, was that when you got me the Longhorns hat?
It is, yeah.
So that was a historic trip to Austin, some say.
Yeah, it was, because I'd never been there before. I guess. So you grew up in Austin? Or was
Yeah,
it in a
born in Austin. Grew up mostly in Austin. Went to middle school, high school in San Antonio and Kerrville, Tivy, home of Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel.
Oh, nice.
He was the grade below me and was not my friend.
Yeah. That's probably for the best,
I was
not to
gonna
be
say.
friends with Johnny Manziel, you know.
You weren't into hookers and coke?
Yeah. Hey, my dad owns a oil company.
Is that true?
Yeah, he grew up a rich kid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So that's
It's easy
why
to
he,
get hookers and coke that way.
yeah, that's
true.
why he got it the honest way,
yeah.
He from a very young age, he didn't need to win the Heisman Trophy to live a debauched lifestyle.
I really wish I'd played football.
Oh man,
It was a big mistake going to school,
yeah.
learning shit when I could have just played football and had a coke problem and things like it. Be in rehab now or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you can get a doctor's note for missing an exam because you have a coke problem.
As long as your coach writes it.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, yeah, in Texas, I bet you can.
Yeah.
This is our Keep Austin Weird episode. We're going to talk about all things Lone Star State. So, growing up in Austin, what was your era of the music scene there like? Because they're known for having many generations of like kind of great music coming through there.
Yeah, I guess when I was like a teen, I was living in San Antonio, and so I was more familiar with that music scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I didn't get back to Austin until I was 18, and since then it's like the massive South by Southwest ACL festival scene.
Yeah, right.
A ton. I don't know. I mean, pretty big into the electronic-y. There's like several good synthy bands in Austin.
Oh, cool.
That's like the music generation that I've been in, just because that's
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
18 plus.
Oh, okay. Have you seen Willie Nelson around?
Yeah, I've seen him around.
Yeah.
We've all seen him around.
I find it to
Did y'all
be
smoke weed with them?
I haven't gotten the chance yet. That's still not off the table.
It's still on the to-do list.
I think it's actually pretty interesting. Like if you go to the Country Music Hall of Fame, you know, they have the mannequins with all the outfits that the various country stars would wear. So they have like Loretta Lynn's dress or Jerry Jeff Walker's whatever he wears. You know,
Graham Parsons' nudie suit with the opium poppies on the ass.
yeah, absolutely. But my favorite thing that they have is that they have Willie Nelson's like lank stoner jeans and t-shirt sort of thing.
Nice.
But they have a wig.
The Farm Aid fatigues.
Yeah. But they have the wig with the braids with
shit.
it.
Yeah.
But it's not like they give off the impression that those braids are a wig. I can understand that if they do it with Dolly Parton, because Dolly Parton wears wigs.
Yeah.
But they're
yeah.
just like, well, nobody's going to know that's Willie Nelson. They're not going to believe the fact that's Willie Nelson's clothes. So we got to put a wig.
Is it his
on
actual
this.
hair?
No.
Well, no, I mean, it's pretty long, so if he trimmed it over the years, you could make a hair wig out of Willie Nelson's hair.
I thought it was for Locks of Love, but apparently it ended up in Nashville.
Willie Nelson was a great man because he had hair like he was staying over at a sleepover and he was still an ass-kicking Texan.
Yeah, that's right. You had the pigtails and all
Yeah.
that shit. I went to the Country Music Hall of Fame with basically my two drunkest friends, which was fantastic. We went at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and my buddy was just walking around, and he was just like so bowled over by everything. He was just like yelling, "Oh shit! God damn! That's Hank Williams' guitar! Holy shit!" And there's like old ladies and kids walking around, and I came up and I was like, "Hey, shh, take it down." He goes, "Hey, don't shush me, god damn it!"
Yeah, I know.
Well, to be fair, it is the Country Music Hall of Fame.
You'd expect a certain level of drunkenness and yelling.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I got, take care of me.
I actually have a disproportionately high number of friends from San Antonio, and I've always gotten the impression that San Antonio is pretty lame.
It's so lame. If you ever have a friend visiting there, you do like 1 to 2 things. The Alamo.
And the Riverwalk.
And the Riverwalk, I guess, but like usually you just go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum across from the Alamo. Those are your activities.
I guess that's why Tully Blanchard left.
Yeah.
Because I think San Antonio, I think of Joe Blanchard's actually Southwest Championship Wrestling. Texas has one of the greatest pro wrestling traditions of any state.
Yeah.
It used to have 4 there was the Funks in Amarillo, there was the Von Erichs in Dallas, and there was the Blanchards in San Antonio.
and the roads in Austin.
Oh yeah, Dusty Rhodes, a lot of the greatest wrestlers. Dusty Rhodes.
He played my dad in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, he's my friend on Facebook.
Dusty Rhodes?
Or Gold Dust is. Dusty Rhodes
okay.
came to the
Oh,
premiere.
Dustin Rhodes.
Sorry.
Wait, he
Oh, no kidding.
played your dad? Mm-hmm. Well, wait, who's your dad?
Hold the phone, yeah.
What?
Who's
my real dad?
Like, what do you mean he played
Not
your
Like your
dad?
dad. Oh no, you acted in a movie.
Is your dad Gold Dust?
No, you were in a movie with Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Hold the
shit.
phone.
Yeah, hold on. First of all, just to clear up, I thought you meant he played your dad in a movie, like your dad was some famous person, and
the
they
story
hired
of your
Gold
dad.
Dust. No, please tell us about Dustin Reynolds. That's amazing.
My father is a 6 foot tall Oscar looking guy. My dad is the Oscar, but he's 6 feet tall.
He's like 6'7". He's like the tallest man I've ever been near. Just the nicest, sweetest dude on set. Very much like, I just want to make sure that I'm getting it right. Like asking a
that's
bunch
so
of
cool.
questions.
What's
like, just
the
a very
movie?
Good, sweet dude.
Yeah, what is? We can see this.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon, I think, and some other things. It's called Meet Me There, and it's about a spooky town in Oklahoma that's got some weird churchy stuff going on, and me and my dad are some of the spookies.
Oh, wow.
Is this an independent movie?
That's fucking awesome.
Well, look at that. We didn't even know that was coming.
Yeah,
I know that was out of the blue.
Yeah, surprise. Also, my dad's super big into wrestling, and
Oh, shit. Okay.
I was forced to watch.
Oh,
Oh, you did?
Wrestling
So
a
which
lot.
one did y'all remember? Eric Embry?
You just opened a Pandora's box, Megan.
Texas had some of the best stuff. Really did.
Was your dad a big fan of Jose Lothario?
Was it Jose Lothario was good. You had Jose Lothario, Gary Hart. You had the Freebirds, Von Erich, Skander Akbar,
Is your
and
dad-
Devastation Incorporated.
Is your dad a Guerrero?
What wrestling do y'all remember watching? Was it Eric Embry?
this wrestling he forced you to watch. What do you
Yeah.
like about it?
Well, I did like it.
Okay, good.
It was like mostly when I was like, okay, I will watch this with you because I want to hang out with my dad. It was like The Rock, Goldberg is my dad's favorite. Stone Cold was my favorite.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, this sounds like it was the 90s
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Raw. And it wasn't the local stuff. I thought that was kind of before your
weren't-
time.
You weren't watching wrestling in the late 70s, Megan?
Well, no, Texas still had independent wrestling through the mid-90s.
Well, there's still independent wrestling there, and I've been to a ton of that just in the past like 5 years. In
Oh, yeah?
Austin, there's some, I don't know what you would call them, local.
Yeah, local indie
Indie
guys.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to some of the ones out here.
Yeah.
How are they?
Oh, they're
They're all right. You know, it's fun. Actually, we went that time.
Yeah, we went to Point Wanini. Is that
Wanimi, yeah, where they
Wanimi.
filmed the championship wrestling from Hollywood. They have a TV show that they do locally, and it's free to go to the shoots, but they do them up in Oxnard.
Oh, okay.
It's right at the beach. It's a fun.
It is a
Sunday
fun
afternoon.
time. Yeah, they get the hobo.
And you know what? Monica told me downtown Oxnard has a Western store, like where we can get like Western shirts and shit
Really?
like that. We need to do
Didn't she
another
say
Sunday.
there were like 3 or 4 Western?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Apparently, we just need to go up there and just get some new duds and go watch wrestling one Sunday.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, when are we going?
It's a good idea. It's a nice drive up the PCH too when it's not too trafficky.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Get some shit done in Oxnard.
Yeah, we should make a plan for
Just
that.
roll in like a bunch of oil millionaires, you know.
I mean, yeah.
Throw wads of cash into the ring. Just be like, you. And with the Juggalo tattoo, I put money on you to beat the guy with the bad hindsight. Battle for me. But I mean, like, what was growing up? Because growing up in San Antonio, what did you do? Like, what was the?
I didn't do anything until I was like 14, and then I got real deep into the emo music scene.
Okay, yeah.
There's a huge emo scene there, and bands that would come through Texas normally wouldn't go to Austin. They would go to Grand Prairie, and they would go to San Antonio to play at
Oh,
a
that's
club
interesting.
there. Yeah, and
Isn't
so I
there
would,
a club in Austin called Emos?
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
My friend, this guy I know from college, was the talent booker there for
Oh,
a really
no
long
shit.
time. Yeah, Will Evans.
Oh,
Pat has networked with the world.
Yeah, I've
my favorite.
wined and dined with kings and queens and slept in alleyways eating pork and beans. I've been all over. Yeah.
And he's dressed like James Bond tonight. Y'all can't see
I
it.
am dressed ridiculous.
Riley, Pat Riley.
The pork and beans from Lambert's, by the way, were the shit.
Yeah.
We're talking Austin barbecue here.
I look like I'm gonna sell somebody a festive pocket square or two.
You look like a gigantic George Coffee
Yeah, that's true.
with the skinny tie.
Don't you even know, man? I am actually George Coffee. I just got on the gear.
Yeah,
So
no, your coffee if he put money into a Zoltar machine.
Hey,
I have this friend, every time he sees one of those things, he thinks it's the machine from Big.
Oh yeah, it totally fucking ruins the illusion because you're at Santa Monica Pier and you see it and you're like, is that the one from? And then there's literally another one next to it.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
You should just get one of those.
I just came here from work.
Yeah.
With the CIA.
Yeah, no.
I look like I'm going to do some spoken word to you guys. So that's
Yeah.
I
Dress for
dressed down today. I really did.
dress for what you want to be. So
Nobody can see it anyway.
I look like I want to work at Barney's warehouse. So you know.
So San Antonio was like the emo scene.
Yeah, that was where I was a scene kid and would get dropped off at the White Rabbit, which doesn't exist anymore.
Was it like an all ages venue, or was it
Yeah.
like a JC's building that became the White Rabbit?
No, it was like a venue that was all ages, and you would go and you would get your X's on your hands, and my friends would wash them off in the bathroom, and I would not. Because I was a good girl.
He was straight edge.
I was straight edge, not by choice, just
Yeah.
by age.
Okay.
That's a common thing, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Why come there's so many scenes in Texas? Seems like there's a lot of scenes.
I would imagine just the size of the place probably.
The size of the place, do you get a lot of stuff traveling through?
I mean, if you're a big act, you'd want to go to Austin because that's where a lot of the people are. But I mean, if you're trying to go to the West Coast, I-10, I-40, I-20, all those sorts of things like that, you could probably hit multiple places.
Well, you know what else?
And there isn't much to do. I mean, that's the thing. Like in San Antonio, like there isn't really much to do besides like either you play for the football team or you're in the football industrial complex out there, or you need to find something to do to pass the time that isn't like football or church, which football is church there, but
right.
Spurs is church in San Antonio mostly, so you could just get heavily invested in the Spurs.
I mean, Greg Popovich is a cool guy.
I think
Yeah.
there was a known answer to all this stuff, though, because a lot of people live in Texas nowadays. If
Yeah.
you look at like the most populous American cities, a whole bunch of them are in Texas.
I think Houston might be bigger than Chicago now. Actually,
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because
Really?
it's immense, and that's
Yeah.
why I do not know.
Tons of people, tons of Americans now. It's like California live in Texas now.
The only thing I know about Houston is they have no zoning laws. So there's literally like a house next to a skyscraper, next to a cement factory, next to a church, next to a strip club. Like it makes no fucking. There's literally no zoning laws. You just build anything anywhere.
What I know,
Paperboy.
yeah, they don't give a fuck.
what I know about Houston is my buddy Tom, a veteran, a senior server at Dry Dock.
What the hell is Dry Dock?
Oh, it's an institution in San Antonio, I guess. I don't know.
Is it a
Yeah.
restaurant?
It's a restaurant,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's
But
Not that much.
I
because-
don't know what
yeah.
it
yeah,
is.
but he was just like, yeah, San Antonio used to be the fattest city in America, and then Houston took over, and it was like, makes sense, because those people there are huge, but I can't imagine them being any huger than the people in San Antonio, because that town is fat.
And he worked at a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
I will pump mayonnaise into you personally.
And he would always get mouthy. It's just like, listen here, fucker. You only get one tartar sauce, all right? If you're going to ask for two, you're going to get charged over.
At the restaurant,
Yeah.
he would get harsh with the tartar
Oh,
sauce.
yeah. I run a tight ship, and those people are fat, so I have to put down the iron claw on them,
He learned it from Fritz von Erich.
Yeah.
Moon in all your splendor, no only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own.
Were there bands that would like have problems with each other or anything like that?
There wasn't any like drama like that. There was a lot of questionable like 15, 16-year-old girls getting to like go hang out with the men in the band.
Jesus. Yeah.
There was a lot of like at the time where I was like, I wish that I was cuter so I could be one of those girls. That now I'm like, oh my gosh, someone help those girls.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that's something to aspire to. When you live in you aspire to one day be cute enough to enter into Chris Caraba's van.
Please. That's still an active dream of mine.
Is that Incubus guy? Who's
No, Chris Caraba's Dashboard Confessional, baby.
Oh, shit. Okay. Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry, I don't know.
Come on, get it right.
Do you know him, Pat?
I grew up in Florida, dude. It's like the emo scene that's like could rival
Yeah.
San Antonio in its level of.
So who's more emo of the two of y'all?
Well, I mean,
Emo throwdown right now.
I
Let's
wouldn't.
see who can cry
I don't
on cue.
identify. I don't identify. You know.
Yesterday I Googled emo shirt. So I think I'm
Emo shirt.
All right.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that if you look up emo shirt on eBay, you just get like nothing vetted whatsoever. It's like anything
it's
vaguely.
crazy. Here's an
Oh, here we
emo
go.
shirt that I saw yesterday. I'm an emo. To save time, let's just assume I'm never wrong.
Okay, it's like Big Dog.
That doesn't
in a way.
even make sense. Because a lot of emos have a superiority complex, but they don't let it come out, right? They wrap it in an
Yeah.
inferiority complex.
Yeah.
So it's like a Twinkie,
It
essentially.
seems to me they have
You
a
know,
real
pig
sense
in
of
a
humor
blanket.
in their T-shirts.
I was just looking for there was a shirt I saw that was like make emo great again, and I was like, that's cute, but I don't want to like be involved in any way with that.
Right, yeah, of course.
And so I was just like, well, what else is out there? And then it was just like your Facebook ads that are like, I'm a Simon, which means I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought an emo shirt was essentially just like a cursive T-shirt, you know, where it's like the broken key keyboard, or just like a shirt with a heart on it that has like barbed wire across, but
Yeah,
it's just like
bleeding.
yeah, it's bleeding, but it's like right here, so it's
Ooh.
tasteful.
Oh, see, the
It's
emo
a
kid-
Catholic shirt.
Or it's like a gym shirt for some random Shaker Heights High gym, you know, just like something that's way too
See,
small.
the emo kids at my high school would wear shirts that were like that said like psych ward on them, and they would say like if idiots could fly, this place would be a frickin' airport.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Hot
See-
Topic shirts.
Hot Topic,
Okay,
not
so-
even Hot Topic. What was the like? Oh, it's called
Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer's Gifts. There's
Another
You guys have a different understanding of emo because like what
We
I
have the
was
mall
what
understanding.
What you're describing is what I was looking for.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what I was finding is like the Spencer's Hot Topic.
yeah, exactly.
Mainstreams.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you need to, if you want to do it right, you got to dress like Guy Picciotto and take it OG emo.
There's one graphic I remember on MySpace for the longest time of this like cartoon boy like shooting himself in the head, but butterflies is coming out the
Yeah.
other side. Like that's
Yeah.
I would wear that.
Was that
Yeah,
a,
or
was that
there
a
was-
Banksy shirt?
or it would be like, a gym shirt. It was always like gym shirts. There was always like kind of ironic, like, political T-shirts where it'd be like a shirt with General Norman Schwarzkopf on it. Like, it's like just kick Saddam's ass or something like that. But the side, like if it was a guy, it always had to be 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And for a lot of those guys, they were bone thin. So they were shopping in the kids department.
Yeah.
So they were wearing like Veggie Tail shirts and stuff
Oh,
like that.
I hate shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw some kid once was so skinny, had a vintage like Return of the Jedi T-shirt on, and I was like, "Damn it, I had that thing when I'm a kid, you motherfucker."
Yeah, but it was always like a thing where it was girl jeans.
Yes.
If you're a guy, it was girl jeans, the swipe down hair.
I just want you to know that you're describing my type today. If this guy still existed,
Yeah.
I would lose it.
All right,
You should play matchmaker,
So, yeah,
Pat.
okay. So if I get the type right,
Yeah.
girl jeans,
Yeah.
T-shirt 2 sizes too small, probably a cursive T-shirt, because apparently they make cursive in little kid sizes, or like a Adam in his package shirt or something like that. If he's funny, lip ring, glasses like mine, Chuck Taylor All Stars, always low cut. The clamp keychain with the keys on it, like
the
way too many.
carabiner?
The carabiner.
Yeah, the carabiner with the too many keys on it,
Uh-huh.
like
like he's
Yeah.
a janitor at a church.
yeah.
Or like a roadie.
yeah.
Yeah. This unlocks all the road cases that I manage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the look. And then the girl emo look, there was like the Daria wannabe looking ones,
Yeah, there was like more on the like indie side.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember when I was like 17 and wanting to transition from scene to indie. That was an active thought that I had as a person 1 year away from being an adult. Was like, yeah, I don't want to be like so scene anymore. So like black nail polish, not a thing anymore. Like stick straight hair with like the swoopy bangs
Yeah.
and the like pieces dyed black, but it's mostly a bright color.
Yeah.
Eyeliner, just every
stick of eyeliner in
Yeah.
HEB.
Isn't that mostly high school kid stuff?
Yeah, it definitely isn't a look anymore.
Yeah, but it was like a lot of the emo girls dressed like the emo guys. Like the difference in what they were from what they were wearing from the neck down was pretty much the exact same. But they would have like the eyeliner. If they wore the glasses, it was always the Lisa Loeb glasses. Like the hair, as you described.
Gauges, like
Yeah.
snake bite.
Yeah,
there's two
septum
of
ring.
them.
The septum ring was
Yeah.
always a go-to. Yeah, and that look was like, if Dashboard Confessional was rolling into your town, that's what you wear. That's your Friday night best, essentially.
Yeah, the lowest jeans possible.
Yeah,
Now it's
yeah.
high-waisted. Now it's like, let's put them up to your neck. But before it's like, how far
Yeah.
can they go?
Because that's apparently, if you read the blogs, that's what Connor Oberst was into. So Connor Oberst wanted to see that lower navel area. He wanted to see that plumber's crack. That's how they roll in Omaha.
I won't be soothed. Daria, 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 I won't be soothed. I won't be soothed.
When you assume Texas, you think like football, cheerleading, that being like rarefied air. Was there like
Yeah.
any sort of tension at your high? Because which high school did you go to? Not to.
So for my first 2 years, I went to Incarnate Word High School in San Antonio, which is an all-girls Catholic
Yeah,
high
I knew
school.
somebody. I actually knew somebody that went to
A name
Incarnate
like
Word.
Incarnate Word, it has to be.
Yeah, no, I knew somebody that
That'd be
went.
hilarious if it wasn't.
Yeah,
But Texas,
Scary as shit if it was.
we're the Quaker school.
and so there it was like it wasn't so bad because we were all in uniforms.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then like with my accessories and with my eyeliner and
Oh,
with
of
all
course.
that, I was like trying to be seen very much. I wasn't popular by any means. I was put on a list of fish lesbos in a bathroom stall. Said
Fish?
lesbos.
Fish lesbos?
Freshman lesbian.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say like Fish like the band, and I'm like, that's not the outfit that you wear if you're into fish.
Those were my friends, the fish lesbians. I'll count myself among the fish lesbians.
There were like 8 of us, and I was at the bottom, so I
Yeah.
was the least fish lesbo.
Yeah, you
of
were the
fish
afterthought.
lesbos. Yeah, they were like, well, Megan, do it.
She's borderline, but what the hell?
And then my junior and senior, that's when I went to Ty-V with Johnny
Okay, yeah.
Manziel. And then that's when I was transitioning, I wasn't seen anymore. I was going to be more indie. So I was wearing more like Abercrombie and Hollister, but like with big fake glasses, and like I'd let my hair be wavy, and it was like a whole thing. But
Yeah.
like the kids who were still seen were like very ostracized.
Jesus.
Because in Kerrville, also like it's an hour from San Antonio, and so you're not really going to those shows and having a community outside of that. That's the only public high school.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that. I can't imagine Johnny Manziel walking around being like, "Hell yeah, I love Coheed and Cambria. What up? Get me some Coke."
Woo! Let's party and listen to Muse.
Well, when did emo come out? Because we did not have this stuff when I was in school.
2000.
Well, there's
2002.
I mean, it's the
was the first Taking Back Sunday album.
yeah, that's true. Well, I think there was like
And there was like 90s
Smiths.
emo, and I think like a lot of pop punk also.
Sunny Day Real Estate.
So the roots of emo, really, in a lot of people's minds, were Rites of Spring, which was a DC band with Guy from Fugazi.
Okay.
So this was like mid '80s, roughly, and Husker Du.
Oh, okay.
So like Zen Arcade and albums like that, which tended to be a little bit more were punk, but with a little bit more of an emotional edge. And then during the '90s, there were a lot of bands that kind of came out that were more, more and more emotional. So they ramped up the introspection, kind of navel gazy, post-hardcore, a little bit, and then like right around. I'd say probably about 1997. That's when it just like hit a critical mass of like, all right, we're gonna cry. But there's like a weird sort of like super machismo to emo.
Yeah.
Like there is that sort of element where the emo guys, despite the fact that they're predicated on crying and being nice guys and in touch, and that's why they're not liked, and that's why they're heartbroken. It's like they are like those nice guys that are just like,
Yeah, it's like friend zone boys.
I'm stuck in the friend zone. Screw women. You know, like women are stupid. They don't have good taste in music. You know.
Yeah, well, there was this. I revisit emo music all of the time, constantly, and there's some that I have to like not listen to anymore because there's so much of it where they're like calling women whores, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the only woman that could do no wrong in that world was like Jenny Lewis or something like that, you know? Like, you know, there's...
I do like Jenny Lewis.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you
there's
gotta.
there's like...
Is she the one with lamb chop?
They just love 60-year-old post vaudeville women with red perms, you know. But no, so they so that's when like
What was her name? Was it
Sherry Lewis.
Sherry Lewis.
Yeah,
there
that was
we
it.
go.
So I don't know, because you're probably younger than I am.
Yes.
When I was a youngster, around 98, they're like emo was big, but it just got progressively more like of a caricature of itself. It became more Spinal Tap in terms of like how over the top it was, until you got to the point of like Chris Carrabba, which was like the gold standard of just like crying
Saddest
and
boy.
whining. Your hair is everywhere. You know?
Is that a
not-
lyric?
Screaming infidelities.
That's not how he sounds.
Your hair is everywhere.
That's not how he sounds. He sounds cool.
That's gross.
I remember in college we walked in on this one guy, Dimitri, shirtless in the mirror playing guitar, and he was playing that song and singing it.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so I think around
I went to a party in Tuscaloosa one time, and there was a guy in the corner, and my friend Mike just goes, "Hey, Michael, play the saddest song you know," and he just produced a guitar out of nowhere and just started singing "Creep."
yeah, no, I mean, but
Just
there's
on command like a dancing monkey.
the thing with Carrabba was torn when I was like a junior in high school, junior in high school roughly. He was touring like the small like venues because he's from Florida and he was touring like the circuit there, and he was like opening for local bands and stuff like that. And he was in Further Seems Forever, right? That was the name of the band he was in before. And people were just heckling him. They were just like, "You want a Kleenex?" You know, just like heckling him, and he was just,
Judas!
like, we were just like, no, like it was rough because he was opening for my friends' bands and stuff, and then he became huge.
Yeah, I saw him in an arena in
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, like he was like a big like him, and he got lumped in. So it got lumped in with all the other like kind of like Avenged Sevenfold and All American Rejects and Sugar, we're coming down swinging.
Fall
that
Out
bit-
Boy.
Fall Out Boy, all those bands, and that was like when it became something. When you went to Hot Topic or you went to. That was like that's when it became like mainstream and disconnected from its
I
original.
remember the store name, by the way. Gadzooks. That's the one with all the fucking novelty t-shirts.
Oh yeah, man! Get yourself a free piercing.
Also, that's Claire's. Also,
No, you can get them at Gadzooks.
Really?
Yeah, they get the gun
Ugh.
and stuff.
Jesus.
Did you get one?
No.
Do you do it yourself?
Do it myself. With a hot nail.
Chris Carrabba's, by the way, sounds like the name of like a local Italian restaurant. It's
Yeah,
like,
but-
come on down to Chris Carrabba's. We're out on the Atlanta freeway. We got paninis and shit. Come on.
Yeah, I've had no idea what that meant all the time. Who
But-
is he again?
Let's listen.
But he.
Carrabba's is an Italian restaurant
it
in
is.
San Antonio.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's a
that's real.
national chain.
Does he own
Okay,
it?
well, there
Yeah,
we go.
that's the one that
Yeah,
like
there's one out here.
my wife and I arrived in Florida on like Christmas Eve, and we're just like, we need some place to eat at Christmas Eve. And we went to Carrabba's. There was a line out the door, like they were giving food away.
Wow.
Oh, is this the guy who sang "Awake on My Airplane"?
What?
Wake on my airplane. Is this that guy?
No, that's
Seven Mary Fold or
no,
something?
that was Filter.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
not
did they
even
do
the
"Hey Man, Nice Shot"?
Yeah. But no, I mean, not to denigrate emo because
This was in this was in the Spider-Man 2.
Oh, then I
soundtrack?
probably heard it and completely
Or
forgot.
was it 3 where Peter Parker becomes emo?
I thought he was emo in... Oh, no, he wasn't.
He was emo in 3 with that James Brown music that was so damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But so Austin, you know, keeping it weird.
Let's keep it weird.
Yeah.
What's your favorite barbecue place, or do you have one?
It's actually only recently gotten to Austin. It was originally in, I want to say, Llano. It's Cooper's Barbecue.
Oh, that's the one?
That's the one. That's my one.
Okay.
My one true barbecue. Love their sauce. Vinegar based.
Oh, so it's like the North Carolina style.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that stuff is the best.
Oh, man.
It's very, very good.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
That sounds good.
I was there. I went to La Barbecue, which is the truck. Normally the line is like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
But I happened to go on a day where it was just pissing down rain, so the line was only 45 minutes because it was pouring down rain and we were in a fucking dirt parking lot outside. But it was worth it.
Well, there you go. We had a fella on the show, King Barbecue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was Texas style brisket, but was he based in Texas?
He's from Texas. Yeah, our friend Craig Holzer, who is a comedian based out of Atlanta, now owns a catering business called King's Barbecue, where he does Austin style barbecues. So
Oh.
shout out to Craig in Atlanta. So the food scene's kind of known there for like the tacos and barbecue and stuff like that. Do you have like a particular like favorite restaurant or somewhere you go when you go home?
I've only been home twice since I moved away, but like both times it was like I had to go to Whataburger as many
Oh yeah, that's a Texas staple.
mornings and late nights as possible. Like when my dad has picked me up from the airport, we go straight to a Whataburger.
Yeah.
I can't do without Pluckers.
What is that,
wings.
chicken?
It's
Oh.
wings, yeah. And it's like a chain.
Oh really?
But
yeah.
it's like Austin, San Marcos. There's one in like Plano. Like it's
local
it's
chain.
local-ish.
Yeah.
It started in Austin, so it's
Regional.
fine.
Regional.
Yeah, those are the main ones.
Those
So
are
I'm
the main
like,
ones.
if I get those, then I'm all
Then you're
set.
good.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the snake farm?
Oh God, no, I haven't, and
No?
I cannot tell you how many hundreds of thousands of times I've probably driven by it, going from like
Yeah.
Austin to San Antonio, New Braunfels.
New Braunfels
wherever.
is in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so but I've never been. I hear they
Okay.
have an otter there now,
Yeah. Yeah. So
which
we.
seems very sad.
Well, they have it for the time being until the snakes eat it. But you've been there. It's just a reptile house.
It's a reptile house.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, you know, Snake Farm pretty much is.
It just sounds nasty.
It's a snake farm. But so when you moved to Austin, I mean, was it like a place that you just connected with automatically, or was there like kind of a weird sort of well, I mean, Austin is weird, but I mean, was there a sort of thing where, yeah, I mean, what was your transition like moving to Austin and, you know?
Yeah, so my family's from there originally. They
Okay.
moved there in like the 80s, and that's why I was born there. And so we would like go there in the summers. My uncle lived there. My dad would assist him with his roofing company. So like we would spend time in Austin all the time. And so when I finally decided to live there, it was like for comedy because there were like improv theaters and stuff that I wanted to get involved with.
Shout out to New Movement.
Yeah, shout out to the New Movement.
Had a great show there while I was there. Actually, that place was cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
When?
Michael Folk. He
was my roommate.
No shit, really? Yeah, he was nice enough to put me on a show there when I was there back in April.
It's a small
gosh,
world
that's
on
so
this
fun.
show.
Yeah, that's
wonder-
like one of the amazing things about comedy, though, is that you
Yeah,
know,
that's
you just
true.
I
mentioned.
was probably there that night. I was at the New Movement like every
Oh, really?
night ever.
Yeah, okay.
I
well-
moved in June. Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, maybe so. It was a really fun show, though. Yeah.
You know, let's get down to the brass tacks of it. They say Austin's weird.
Yeah.
Why come it's weird?
I don't think it's weird anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
I think that it was weird at some point.
Yeah.
Like when we had like Leslie who would like I almost said audition. He would like campaign for mayor.
Wait,
every
who's
time
Leslie?
it came up. Leslie has since passed, R.I.P., but he was this like homeless man who would wear women's clothing,
Okay.
and he was just like very beloved by everyone in Austin. He would just try to be the mayor all the time.
One of them local characters, like
Yeah.
we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
like,
a local
Baton Bob
character.
or Mr. Potato Pants. Yeah.
The one in Boston, Mr. Butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's not, yeah, a lot of it's not weird, right?
No, it's like very. I don't want to say like it's very corporate now. Like I'm above it. I live
It's
in Los
commercialized.
Angeles. Yeah, it's like kind of a caricature of like all the things that you like about Austin now, but it's like very expensive and it's being developed all the time, and like gentrification and like East Austin.
It reminded me a lot of like a miniature LA.
Yeah, for
almost.
sure.
I swear, I tell you, fellas, every city is getting like this now.
Yeah.
They're pushing everybody out with this gentrification thing. Everybody's going to be shoved out of the cities.
And everyone's moving to Pflugerville.
Keep
man.
Pflugerville weird. What's up in Pflugerville? That sounds good.
It's just a little bit north of Austin. That's it. That's its main cell.
It does have a fantastic song about it by the Austin Lounge Lizards. When I got to Austin, I saw a sign for Pflugerville. I got really excited because my father loves this obscure comedy country band called the Austin Lounge Lizards, and they have a song called Pflugerville. And I like some of my earliest memories are riding with my dad in the car and him just sitting in the front seat going, "Oh, Pflugerville, Pflugerville."
Shout out to Rivers Daddy.
I'm riding alone to Pflugerville.
Pflugerville, Pflugerville.
I'm riding alone to Pflugerville.
What dads find funny is just amazing.
My destiny.
If you get my dad in front of a stereo that's playing a Fire Sign Theater album,
Oh,
he
the
will
Marks and Lennon one with
piss his pants. Nick Danger, oh my god.
Fire Sign Theater is great. Oh wait, here's some funny thing.
I strangled my girl in Pflugerville.
And then he eventually gets flogged in Pflugerville.
Yeah.
Where's this song set?
No, I don't know. It's supposed to be kind of. It's going.
Because people don't get flogged much anymore.
Well, you've never been to Pflugerville.
Floggerville.
Oh my god.
I'll give it a thumbs up. Though.
Yeah.
I think at one point he goes, "They'll flog me tonight in Pflugerville. My flogging was fine in Pflugerville. I fled with my flogger from Pflugerville." It's great.
It's wordplay.
I'm turning into a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Before your eyes.
Yeah. Your jeans have gone lightened by 4 hues. And your socks are now athletic white socks.
Uh-huh.
So
We've got Team Emo to keep us here.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
So
a balance.
Megan
It's
actually had a
anyway.
really funny story about your dad, speaking of dads, and his love of UT Austin football.
Oh yeah, so we're big Horns fans. Hook them.
Hook them.
Hook them.
Them.
My dad went there for like a year in the 80s. But being from Austin, like we don't have any other sports teams, and so like that's who you root for.
The Horns are the greatest team there is.
That's right.
In probably in any sport, actually, because no team has a stronger professional wrestling connection.
I thought that was
the
West.
Longhorns.
I thought it was West Texas.
Yeah, but all the wrestlers would do it though, whether they went there or not. All the wrestlers would do the hook 'em horn. Stan Hansen.
I think that
At that Royal Rumble, what's his name even did it? The guy that's been there forever, Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony. Oh, Mark Henry. Mark Henry.
Henry,
J-Lo's
that's it.
ex-husband.
Yeah. J-Lo's excellent. Yeah.
But then again, come on. There's the Austin Toros of the National Basketball Development League. All right, so they're not the only.
I'll tell you this.
town
Austin
athletically.
Toros.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
this: if y'all want a gambling tip, I had the Longhorns app on my phone, which I had to get rid of because I didn't have enough room on my phone for it anymore. But their women's basketball team wins all the time.
Yeah, and their softball team's really great too.
I thought about actually placing a bet on them last time I was in Vegas.
So your
The
dad.
women's team won that night too.
So your dad's a big UT Austin
Yeah,
fan.
big UT Austin fan. He's also a teacher. He teaches high school, but before, what was he doing with middle school? Where did middle school come from? I think that he was like some kind of volunteer coach for middle school football. And one of the coaches there was like, hey, you know that if you say that you're a high school football coach, you just join the Texas Football Coach Association, that you can get tickets to every Texas and A&M home game and like with a +1 so you can bring students or whatever. And so my dad did it, and him and I have been to many games together. I am not planning to go to UT for football, but I do like seeing games live.
Yeah.
And sitting next to
awesome.
the other cute boys. That was a fun
Any
time.
great emo boys hanging around?
Hey! If I can we make a deal? Pat, as you know, is like the what is it called, that Jewish one? Again with the Jewish thing, you know, the matchmaker.
Yenta?
A Yenta. Pat can be your emo boy Yenta. If y'all know any Longhorns cheerleaders want to take a chance on a broken down old cowboy who lives in Sepulveda.
But I mean, what's the? I love that it's like he does it, and like, what's the proof that you are a coach? Do you have like a card?
You just sign up for the association, and I don't know what they look at. I don't know if there's any sort of documentation,
Like,
or
you
if
have
you
to-
just
you-
say the school,
That's a
or you like
great
you,
idea.
or you show up in like duck head khakis and a polo shirt.
which is no problem for my dad.
Yeah. All dads dress like high school football coaches for the most part.
If you saw my dad, he's a big guy with a big red face.
Yeah.
Surely that guy's a coach.
Big red face.
If you have a team cap and a white polo shirt,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can pass for a
Yeah.
coch.
Yeah, or you don't even need a team cap. You just need like a visor or something like that.
If you have transition lenses on your glasses.
I have all this crap.
Or you have you or
gonna
you have,
do this.
Yeah, or you have Oakley tan. Sweet Oakley tan. Yeah, you
Wrap
can,
around tan.
Yeah, wrap around tan.
Big silver watch where if you take it off, there's a big tan line.
But it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like,
They're good seats too. They're really good seats. Like
Yeah.
I remember there was one game and we showed up real early one time and we were on the 50-yard line.
Nice.
Like 4 benches up.
Yeah.
Bleachers, I don't know, whatever.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, right
That's-
next to the student section.
Right. Well,
It's
damn,
very
that's
fun.
that's
Yeah,
a-
let's hear it for the
Nice.
Horns, by the way, dude. They didn't have the best year this year, but you wait until the next one when they hook everybody. You understand?
my student's kid that if they were gonna, you know, if they're on sport, because I have a lot of athletes in my classes, and they have a joke that they should just get me tickets to games, and because I always dress up, that I could just walk onto the court or walk onto the field and just be convincingly like I should
You
be
do
there.
look like a manager.
Yeah, if you had a clipboard, you could be a basketball coach.
Yeah, and your name's Pat Riley.
I know,
already.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So hey, I'm Pat Riley. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah. Well,
Dress like,
he is Pat Riley.
dress like this. I could diagram the triangle offense very fabulously. So, you know.
World is flooding down in Texas. All of the telephone lines are down. And I've been trying to call my baby. Lord, and I can't get a single sound.
Pat has a lot of skills. We've seen this today. You think he's an ordinary man in a James Bond suit, but he knows
is a
everything about the
Renaissance
emos.
man.
Yeah, he stalks the guy from the Misfits too.
Danzig.
Yeah, he does a lot of things.
I love how it's a stalking sort of thing.
Well, you just know his whereabouts at all times.
So, Megan, you do comedy music. Where did that kind of develop from?
When I was like 12, my grandma made me take guitar classes at her senior center, which is, sure. I'm 12 and don't want to hang out with my friends. And that's when I got real into like Death Cab for Cutie.
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. And so like that's where like the music kind of came from. And then all through that, I was in like theater. When I moved to Austin, I did improv and was real big into comedy. And then just like 2 years ago, I told my friend that I wanted to write comedy songs. And she was like, hey, I have a run of shows coming up. If you host my show and like do comedy songs for them, that would be very fun.
Yeah.
And so like that's what happened. I did that and I really liked it and I got really good feedback. And then did my own solo show where it was just my songs for an hour.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
That
fantastic.
has to be a fantastic skill set to have as a host. You know, like if you're hosting a comedy show, I'd imagine that's
Yeah,
like
it's
playing
good for
comedy
energy.
songs is like a great way to just kind of like fill the time between comedians and like definitely set the tempo to the point where it's like, you had a set, here's something a little bit different. And then if, somebody has a rough set before you can just go in there and do the comedy songs. And it's like the perfect palate cleanser that can actually like set the momentum in the right way.
Yeah, the only thing that's like kind of a negative about it is like something very subconscious, but something that I'm very aware of is like you just said, like, oh, the comedians, where it's like, I'm also the comedians, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of times people see that I play music and they're like, oh, we can't book her for comedy shows
Really?
for that very reason. Yeah.
Oh, the
And
old
I think it's
music
subconscious,
comedy
but-
conundrum.
Yeah. yeah.
No,
where
it's
like-
tricky. It's tricky when you do that, the music comedy thing, because people sometimes you're an animal they don't understand.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's also one of those things that there's a lot of people that do the music thing, especially there was like an era of that where like they weren't that good at that.
Oh,
Like
so
if
they
it was like
switch over
somebody
into
coming up
comedy.
there.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Yeah.
somebody going up there. Well, no, I mean it's like somebody coming up with a guitar or a ukulele or something like that. Because I remember like at the old like Bruco open mic, if somebody walked up with a guitar, you would just hear Robert go, "Oh, great, another guitar comic," and it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, there is that sort of thing where people do have like a bias against it.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of people learn to play the guitar at some point, so they figure, oh, I'm going to do a funny song. I do
Yeah.
comedy, but it's hard because a lot of songs and stuff, if they're not really made as a comedy song for a stage, they don't quite work.
Well,
Yeah, and a lot of people will just kind of do like a parody song or something like that,
Yeah.
and then it's like, so then you see someone else with a guitar, and you're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's
That's
like,
probably what they're
or
also
something
doing.
just really like amateurish, like just like
Hokey, yeah.
hokey, or them just be
Like
up
I've
there
heard
being
Trump songs recently, and I'm like, we don't. That's not.
like, or it's just like somebody up there that's just like fart pee pee poo poo, and they just like, or they just are as gross as they can possibly be. Where it's just
Yeah.
like I have a guitar, it makes it okay for
It's
me to
funny
talk about.
because I'm doing it as a song.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm talking about depraved stuff.
well,
you know?
the,
This is the one song I can play, so I'm going to do a parody of it.
Well, I will say the one bit of comedy music that I've attempted was Kyle Clark's Halloween show a couple of years ago. I did a song called "Sex Frankenstein," so pretty much right in what you're talking
I
about.
remember that though, because that took the audience to such a weird place. I kind of enjoyed Sex Frankenstein.
What place did they go to?
Well,
It was about you tell him it was about
it was
a monster.
Yeah, so
a
it's
man who created a sexual monster.
yeah, it was about an undertaker in the Wild West, and he dug
Did you
up.
picture him as the Undertaker?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
He was from Texas.
Yeah, and he dug up the bodies that he buried, and he wanted a Frankenstein to fuck him. And then the Frankenstein had his way with him, and he loved it, and he was really into it. But his like screams of passion alerted the local sheriff,
Oh,
who of course
no.
kicks in the door and shoots the Frankenstein. And then you can hear him like you can still hear him like crying for his lost Frankenstein. I basically took the chord structure of Big Iron by Marty Robbins, and
That's
just
why
sort
I
of-
liked it.
yeah, so it's kind of a story song, It was my El Paso. My El Paso is Sex Frank.
Undertaker is looking for pleasure.
It's very high concept.
Yeah, it was, and I did it once at Pat's mic at the Unurban, and kind of it wasn't quite there, and I retooled it a little bit, and then did it at the Halloween thing, and it worked really well, and I was like, shit, maybe I should just write some funny songs, but I haven't. That's the only one I've really attempted.
See, when
out
I
here.
heard Sex Frankenstein, I just imagined Frankenstein with the Edgar Winter group just not wearing pants. I
Was he the albino one?
think both the
yeah, they're
winners
both
were.
albino.
So
yeah.
that would have been blinding, at least from the waist down.
Although think of the sound effect. Ugh.
That took us to a place
Yeah.
It did.
we'd
but-
like to forget.
Well, I just like that you were like, oh, people, these hacks, the guitar hacks will take it to the dirtiest place, and I'm just sitting there like, it's kind of what I did.
Well, no, but I mean that it's not your gnome to play. Like this is like there's people that just kind of go from open mic to open mic that are just
Yeah,
like,
this was definitely a character.
I got a guitar and I know a lot of cuss words.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've seen a
yeah.
lot of faces, and I've rocked them all. It's the same thing. But did y'all ever play in like an emo band or anything like that when you was coming up?
No, I've never been in any band. I've always I wanted to be in an emo band so bad. If anyone's listening right now and wants to be in an emo band, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it right now.
And I mean that's kind of like a a good female guitarist in an emo band is kind of transgressive because it was always like the if there's a woman in the band, right? There was always the thing with indie rock bands, female bassist. In emo
or
bands,
keys. Yeah.
exactly, the little keyboard. Yeah, and that was always the thing. So you could be
Tiny keyboard on a bigger keyboard.
yeah, or tiny keyboard on a big stand. You know? But you should do like a transgressive like emo band where it's just like all women except for like one dude playing the little keyboard essentially.
The only like emo girl band that I can think of is Isley. That's like the only one that fits into that.
Yes, I completely
Who's
forgot.
that lady? Who's that? Oh, is that the Isley brothers?
No.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
This is the Isley sisters. Yeah.
No, Megan Dia, but they weren't massive.
Yeah,
Oh, you found one Pat didn't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I only know the ones that I saw bumper stickers for on people's like.
But you know a lot of them. Pat. Your emo knowledge is kind of astounding.
if you lived in Florida and you looked at any early 90s Volvo, you would see stickers for all sorts of emo bands, you know? You would see a Def Cab for Cutie bumper sticker next to a cursive keyboard bumper sticker next to that Isley bumper sticker. So, and they weren't bumper stickers; they were like the little stickers.
Yeah.
But I digress. And the broken heart bumper sticker with the blood coming from it.
Or like the used like weird cartoon heart that was very pointy at the end.
Oh my God! It's just one of those things where that's like. Because the thing was that people used the term emo for anybody that was just whiny generally. Yeah. And I think it's interesting how that was divorced from like some like subculture or some like, cult like trend that had like so many other things that were just kind of over the top. And, it was like one of those things where, I never fashioned myself an emo, but I knew a lot of people that were played at emo shows. And that was just like a completely like, I'm emo guy and I hang out at the coffee shop and I play chess and I will talk your ear off about Ludwig von Mises because I have read a book. I've read The Fountainhead. Okay.
Emo was just like a big umbrella for like also like post-hardcore and like pop punk. Like there were a bunch of like Fall Out Boy I would say is more of a pop punk band than an emo band. But
or
like it's
My Chemical Romance or something like that. But it was like a very weird sort of thing that like I'm just waiting because everything is cyclical. Man, everything is cyclical and I'm just waiting for like the emo return.
Girl, we're in an emo revival right now. What are you talking about?
Is it happening?
Is it happening? Or is it something that you have envisioned? Is that like on something on a vision board?
Now.
So there is an emo revival?
There's an emo and that's what everyone's calling it. It's the emo revival. There's emo nights popping up all over different cities.
No.
Yeah,
emo
totally.
night in Austin is the best emo night ever.
What do you do?
Okay. So here's what you do.
So you make hunch punch.
So the one in Austin happens at this like dance club called Barbarella.
Okay.
Which is like usually not a place that I would ever go because it's like coke in the bathroom, like dance girls. But the first Wednesday of every month, the dopest dude is a DJ and he just plays emo music. And like there's like TVs that are playing the music videos and everyone is just like dancing to it. It's so simple, but
so they have an emo
is.
night, kind of like they used to have new wave nights at clubs.
But but I can understand like dancing to like if they put on say Depeche Mode or something like that, or the Pet Shop Boys. But I can't imagine anybody like getting on the floor and breaking it down to Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, but they do.
Really?
It's like I mean, maybe that's one of the ones that'll happen like earlier in the night to get people like kind of. Loose, but like it happens.
I can imagine
sad.
but I can imagine like people dancing to like Reggie in the Full Effect or something like that, But like I don't imagine people dancing to like Coalesce, It's
I mean it's a lot of like Taking Back Sunday, All American Rejects, The Academy Is
okay.
Like
what does that mean?
No, all the bands.
That's a phrase. It's
all
like
the
a bands
were sentences. Their names were like sentences.
That's a
or
hanging
concepts.
clause. Not even a sentence. The Academy is what, motherfucker?
... And there's an ellipsis.
Or it was a word with a period at the end, like cursive period.
Fun.
The
form.
Fun.
Didn't have a period.
But I just can't imagine because I always thought the emo thing was just like standing there with your hands in your pockets, like just looking down with a Parliament light in your lips, just like
Live, sure.
yeah.
But I don't know. There's something that like I don't know. It's this very like weird group of. It's very specific. I feel like.
Yeah, and just like
the group of people that's there, and so like when you're all like singing and yelling and dancing these songs that like people probably made fun of you for liking in high school, you're like, yeah.
My heart is really broken. The blood stained my hoodie. You know.
I think y'all should get yourself down to Barbarella's Fest on some Wednesday.
Seems like the band is taking shape right now. Get a two-hander.
Man, I was planning on getting a haircut. Maybe I should. Like, it's tough. See, I can't get emo hair because my hair is too wavy. Like, you know, even if I put like,
you
could cry about that in a song.
Yeah, that could be the. My hair's too wavy.
My hair is too wavy to be a emo. Don't accept me.
I see this band happen, and I like it. What are y'all going to play?
My favorite thing in the world was every local emo band had a GeoCities page, and they had the lyrics section, and it was just like poems that weren't poems. You know, there's would be like lyrics, and it would just be like a sentence or like a love note, but it was like spaced out into something that resembled stanzas but had no real meter to it, you know?
Yes.
It was all encompassing. Yeah, because it was like even if you weren't part of it, you knew enough people that were part of it so that if you were like on AIM, for example, and you saw somebody's away message where they had the name of their GeoCities page for their band, you would click on it curiously and you'd read this and you're just like, okay. Because it's very like, it was very formulaic, and I don't like as any scene is formulaic, right? Or as any thing is, but it's like if you were around it, there were so many iconic things about it, and it was always like, as you said with San Antonio or with me in Florida, it was always so different than the predominating culture there. The rednecks or football players, or in my case where I was from, it was surfers. At your case, I don't know what it was.
General Santa Ana's army.
Yeah. It was so distinctive that you would just it stuck out, right? Yeah.
Oh man.
There's an emo night in LA that's like a huge bummer, and not like,
well, aren't they all really?
Well, but not in the way that you want it to be if you're going to an emo night.
Where is the emo night in
Echo?
The Echo, yeah. And it's like there's like a million different rooms that it's happening in, and everyone's Snapchatting, and there's girls wearing shirts that say "drunk on punk," and I'm like, no, you're not. And it's just Poser Central, and it's Good Charlotte songs, and it's DJs playing air horns over Adam's song by Blink-182.
That's like,
what?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this song about teen suicide. Ew, ew. It's like trying so hard
Everybody
to make
hit
it a
the dance
party.
floor. Don't waste your time on me. Fucking lifestyles, the rich and famous. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's all the emo songs I know.
And it's like $10 to get into.
Oh,
So y'all have not been able to find one that doesn't suck out here.
We got to
The
start
true
our own.
emo night was this podcast. Right here.
Yeah,
That's true, Pat.
As somebody that doesn't even fashion himself an emo.
And
This
when
is
y'all
emo
start your
night
own
LA.
band, I will be there at some of the concerts
Will you
getting real
manage
hot.
us?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be the colonel.
yeah.
I'm like, y'all gonna see my boys here. We got the best emo band we got here.
You got to sell buttons that say "I love emo."
I love emo and I hate emo.
Yeah,
Just like the colonel for Elvis. I
That's
love
right.
this shit. And I'm secretly from the Netherlands, just like
Colonel Tom.
Colonel Tom Parker.
Deep Texas, deep up Tennessee. Deep Texas, deep up Tennessee. Deep Texas, deep Tennessee. For Thelma. For Thelma. Calvin made a wreck out of me.
So if you heard our episode last week, we have a giveaway. Our first sponsor Bug Assault.
Bug Assault, a non-toxic bug gun that y'all can destroy flies that encroach in your household with.
That's right.
Or your yard.
So we asked our listeners to write in some funny tweets. We put up a video of Mr. Goodnight shooting cans.
Like the rifleman.
Like the rifleman.
A much shorter Chuck Connors.
Up on our Twitter at The Goods Pod, and we had some people write in, and they were all very funny. So I've decided I'm just putting all the names in a hat. We're just picking one. And,
Oh, is that what happens when I'm not on the podcast? We have.
Well, there was
giveaways.
less emo last week.
Exactly.
So and also
it's not my fandom. It's arcane knowledge.
So whoever wins the giveaway is getting the Bug Assault gun. You're getting a super deluxe beanie, courtesy of the swag bag at Riot Festival from a couple weekends ago, and you're getting the DJ Rhiannon CD featured on the episode from last week.
So pump up the volume.
Provided to us by comedian Jason Webb. So I'm going to let the lovely Megan Simon pick a name out of our cowboy hat for our Austin episode. All right, at Steak_Pliskin is the winner. So
Steak Pliskin.
Steak Pliskin. Hell yeah. I got to see what Snake's tweet was. Steak Pliskin. The tweet was at The Goods Pod, at Bug Assault. Legal troubles, can't get a real firearm. Bug Assault.
To be fair, though, folks, I actually have no legal troubles getting firearm. I stay on the clean side of the law just so I can get firearm.
That's the way to do it. So congrats to Steak_Pliskin.
They talk about getting the goods from the woods because y'all always getting the goods that way.
That's right. Megan, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, you're going to love it. You can find me on Instagram and
at Dark Fairy Queen 22. No, I'm kidding.
almost. Twitter and Instagram, I'm MySpace Megan.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
And then on SoundCloud, if you just Google my name, I come up.
Okay, awesome.
Great
And-
SEO.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, you can find us on Facebook.com/TheGoodsPod. We're on Twitter at TheGoodsPod. Another congrats to Steak_Pliskin for winning our Bug Assault contest. We're going to be doing another one of those giveaways next week, so stay tuned for that. If you didn't win this week, you might win next week.
A little salt for the steak.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You could shoot salt onto your steak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tenderize it good. Make a bad
Hell
steak a good steak. Just let the salt
Fuck.
set.
Yeah, man. Pat, what should the folks do when they get to iTunes?
Well, what they should do is rate, review, and subscribe. If you subscribe, it really helps us out a lot. If you rate the show and you review, it does a lot. We want to break back into the 200s.
Yeah.
The top 200. So you better watch out. Podcast One. Indie podcasting is taking over. All right? Fuck the corporate world.
Yeah.
And by doing that to the corporate world, you show the attitude of gratitude.
And if y'all don't have the attitude of gratitude, then fuck you.
All right. Megan, what are we about to hear?
This song is called That's Weird. That's weird how in the beginning of this whole thing you would text me every day, every single day. If it really wasn't to talk about anything, you would just checking in on me. And now a few months go by and never hear from you. You say it's just 'cause you're bad at texting. That's weird. That's weird that time that you bailed on me 'cause you said you weren't feeling good. I was like, maybe I could just bring you some soup. I make really good company and really good soup. You were like, no, I'm just gonna call it a night. Then the very next day I see you at the club on Instagram. That's weird. It's weird 'cause you said one thing and then you did the opposite thing. That's weird. That's weird how when you were breaking things off with me, said it had nothing to do with me. You just weren't really ready for anything right now. But when you were, it would definitely be with someone like me. 'Cause I'm really pretty and I'm really funny. And I was like, that checks out. But now I see that you're dating someone else on Facebook. That's weird. That's all
also weird because when you were breaking things off with me, I was like, is it because of that girl that you work with? And you were like, no. And I was like, are you sure? Then you gave me specific reasons why you wouldn't want to date that girl, including that she was super boring. But now I see that you're taking day trips to vineyards. That's weird. It's weird because you said one thing and then you did the opposite thing. Which one of those did you mean? Were you just trying to spare my feelings? Because they actually hurt just a little bit worse now, because I told all my friends all those things that you said, then I told all my friends all the things that you did, and they were like, yeah, I guess he lied straight to your face, but I was like, no way, he respects me way more than that. That's weird. That's weird. But I guess you can say whatever you want, because they're just words.
Nice. That sounded great in the can.
Outstanding. We'll see you next week, everybody. The Goods from the Woods was mixed, edited, and distributed by me, Rivers Langley. You can find the show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by DJ Smiles. Check him out on Twitter at DJ Smiles.